What's the difference between NASDAQ?
Welcome everybody. Had a little mic issue here a little while ago, but I guess it's all solved now. What we're gonna start off with is I'm probably gonna start off with seeing what GBJPY is doing right now. Looking at it on the daily, we're rejecting that strong daily resistance at 137, coming down towards the 4-hour, kind of like consolidating here on the 4-hour. 4-hour creative, massive support here. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 4-hour candles are just respecting the support. Going to the 1-hour, yeah, we're just ranging here. We are ranging. You got the support there. I think I got the resistance over here on the 1-hour. Let's measure this range. This is a 42 pip range. It's a pretty big range. Looking at the 30-minute, yeah, it's just not good at all. It's just not good to trade here at all. So I'm probably gonna wait. Yeah, I'm probably gonna wait for this hour to close. I'm gonna wait for this 30-minute to close to see what's happening, because right now it's just very difficult. Let's take a look at some things here. Forex Factory. Let's take a look at pre-markets. So pre-markets are down, right? Pre-markets are down. So from what I know, from what I've seen, is if the pre-markets are down, US 30 the Dow index should continue pushing down. So looking at it on the 1-hour perspective, first the 4-hour. 4-hour is coming down. It's kind of like retracing. Looking at the daily is coming down. 30-minute is creating a support. I think it'll need to create some sort of a minor resistance and then start heading down. So I'm going to keep an eye on that. Maybe somewhere over here it's going to create that minor resistance, or it's going to create it somewhere over here. With Euro, you have interest rates coming in about an hour and 15 minutes. So probably going to wait. Let's take a look here. Euro JPY. Looking to take a sell. One thing I'm concerned would be last two candles are currently weak bearish, so would be selling momentum consider a good idea. Yeah, I think it could work. I mean, you have this clean traffic here to the left hand side, but at the same time you have interest rates coming for the euro, so we're not really sure how that's going to affect things. I probably want to see a candle closing bearish on euro. So if I look at euro, so this is support I had from yesterday. Looking at it from a 1-hour perspective, 1 hour is still open. This 1 hour can continue down, but we need confirmations on the smaller time frames. So looking at it on the smaller time frames, what we can basically see is the 30-minute is bearish. So you'd need this one to break the low of the previous 30-minute candle. Yeah, I guess you'll have to wait for this to break the previous 30-minute candle low. But at the same time, I'd probably relax, because you know you got the euro rate, so we're not sure how price is going to set up just before the news. We just don't know that information. Let's take a look at this chart here. This is another euro JPY now, so it's a little different. I'm looking for potential sell if a 30-minute close beneath the support is a valid idea. A quarter hour will be more out of the trade at that time. Yeah, it makes sense. Makes sense. I mean, I'd wait for the news, basically. Waiting for bearish confirmation under resistance. Perfect. You know, I was looking at GJ here, and this is I mean, if we create a range, if we create a resistance over here, this is a 20 pip range. I think, Yeah, I think I'm just gonna wait. I'm gonna wait for price to break out of this dirty area. This is so bad. It's not easy at all. So I'm probably gonna wait. Yeah, I'm gonna wait for this hour to close and see how the cookie's gonna crumble. Could you help me take a look at these two losses I had? I want to know what you think. Leroy, send these to me in the Slack, and we're gonna look at these later. Also, try to label on your losses chart how could you have taken the opposite trade. That's very important. You know, this is a live webinar, so we're gonna continue on, but I'm gonna look at that later on. How can shorting any JPY pairs be a good idea since they have been trending up for so long? Well, first you have to look to see that they're trending on the higher time frames, right? So now price is coming into 136, 270. On the higher time frames, if they're trending, now what you see is that on the higher time frames, they're kind of ranging here too, right? So they're ranging here. 4-hour has a resistance up over here, 4-hour has a support down over here. And it's in I think this is a 100 pip range, right? So when the smaller time frames, they give you little ideas that price will continue moving down. I mean, if there's a movement bearish and you see that there's enough range to cover, then it makes sense to sell them, right? Instead of taking a buy and expecting price to just continue going up. So you don't follow what the higher time frame is saying. You also follow what the smaller time frame is saying, because the smaller time frames, they slowly build up the higher time frames. All right, what's this? High time frame is bullish, but candles are showing bearish structure for NY open. Tons of clean candles, waiting for price to break. Yes, I'm actually looking for that too. I'm probably gonna wait here a little bit for this hour to close. I kind of want to take this trade down over here. I want to take a trade down till 136. You know, break below 136.300 and continue down here. That's something I'd want to take because there's clean candle here to the left. So we'll see what happens. Hey Raja, I'm back at it. I've been attending your live stream a long time and then got distracted. Oh, nice. Beautiful. Sell zone, TP1, buy zone, TP1, TP2. Yeah, this makes sense. Actually, I like this marking here. Like buys above this area to continue going up. Maybe want to streamline this area here. Maybe streamline it right over here. So you're looking for buys above this area to continue to go up over here. 20, 30 pip range. Yeah, I think that's feasible. I think that could be done. You know, so in the 15-minute, you'd want price to break above, 136.580, 136.600, and then continue moving up. So let's see what happens. Ooh, GJ. Not valid resistance until bearish candle forms. That's true. 25 pip range, high probability zone. I have the same zone for sells I'm looking at. 30 pip, 30 pip. Yes, good. This is excellent. This is really good. So you've really measured all these ranges here, which is really important. Because when you have ranges measured, that shows that you know the type of trade you're trying to take. You know, if you have this range here, you're like, okay, I can probably get like 15 to 20 pips in this range. How many time frames do you want running on your direction to confirm a trade being highly profitable? Highly probable. It depends, basically it depends. It depends on the situation. It depends on, like, it's very subjective. I mean, if price breaks 136.300, then there's a very high chance it's going to continue down to 136 even, right? So then it would make sense to look for sells than to look for buys. Raja, you want to look at gold? No, I don't trade gold. So, I mean, you can send a chart. You can take a look at it. Waiting for this candle to close above minor resistance to buy. Support was formed. Okay, okay. Oh man, two charts. Okay, same thing. Yeah, same thing. I mean, I guess most people are looking at the same thing over here on GJ. Let's look at gold. Gold, goldy, goldy, gold. Gold is reaching this resistance. Man, gold spreads are too high. I don't even know how people are trading gold. Really, really expensive to trade gold. Hey, I'm a newbie to Forex and I've been watching for just over a week and I've learned a lot from you. Oh, thank you. Beautiful. Yeah, see what I'm thinking is if this 30-minute breaks the low here previously, it should continue going bearish. No top wick is scary though. Oh, that's fine. I think if it's going to break this low, then it should continue down here. Anything is scary if you are over leveraged. Okay, if you're over leveraged, if you're over risking, it's very scary. So you have to be careful when you're over leveraged. Let's take a look here. This is GU. Wait for support on 30-minute or break of 15-minute candle to continue down. Yeah, it makes sense. Like, to be honest, what GU is doing over here is what GJ did in the Asian session yesterday. It created a resistance like this on a 30-minute, and then the next candle just dropped 60 pips. Yeah, it looks like people are looking at the same sells here on GJ. Looking for a bearish low of the previous. What do you think? Yeah, they're looking at the same thing. Is there enough range to take a sell? It's up to you. I don't think so. I'm not going to trade this. I'm going to wait for price to either break 136.300 or break above 136.550. You know, because in my eyes, this is a bad range to trade. This range here, it's a bad range to trade because you have all these issues here to the left. This is a clean range to trade right here. And then this is a clean range to trade up over here, and this is another clean range to trade up over here. So you need to map out the areas that you're going to trade in and then just wait. You know, it's what they say, wait for price to come to you. You know, because if you wait for price to come to you, then it's going to be stress-free trading. I think I'm going to make this into a logo. Stress-free trading. Just got to wait. Looking on the daily on gold is rejecting 1697, 4 hours continuing to move up. 1 hour candles are also continuing to move up. The only problem is it's at this area over here. It might reject it, so who knows? We're gonna wait and see. Raja, would you place any buy stops and sell stops before the Euro news? I'm not sure. Probably not. Probably not. But I think what might happen is, I don't know, it's very hard to say. I mean, one thing is for sure, I mean, it might come down to fill this whole range with the news, which is 40 pips, or it may bounce, like it may come back above this support and then continue moving up towards 122.350. You know, obviously price is going to go up or down. We just don't know how news is going to affect it. But just by looking at price action, seems like we're trying to break below this low over here, and then that would probably make us continuing down to like 121, 730, 760. You only trade GJ. Yes. Yes. We look at other pairs, but you know, you need to send a chart for everyone to look at the other pairs. Is this live trading? No, this is just commentary. This is commentary on the markets. You know, if I take a position, I give my idea here in the screen that, hey, I took my position, this is my stop loss, this is my take profit. So this is like, this is recorded in the past. Can you help me with my analysis on US 30? Philemon George. Yeah, I think you need to send a chart. Let's take a look here. This is GA ranging. Closes above the resistance support, I can buy, and closes below, you can sell. That's perfect. That is beautiful. Price was ranging during pre-London and then broke out in session. Okay, price came down, made a low. If this 30-minute candle closed below, oh look, GJ has broken the low on the 30 minutes. See, I can see the price. Would this be a valid sell even though the 1 hour be closing bullish? Yeah, I think so, because you know there was a consolidation here and price is closing down over here. If you look at the 30 minute from yesterday on GJ, what you will find is you'll find the same scenario that played out. You know, look right here. There was a consolidation right here, consolidation, candle closed bearish, and the next one dropped. So if you look at your GU, you have the same thing happening here. Consolidation, candle closed bearish, and the next 30 minute dropped. See how price prints the same patterns over and over again? So this is like a great example here of the same pattern being printed again. First time sharing my trade. How can I improve my setup? Okay, let's take a look here. Let's take a look, see, my friend. Let's take a look over here and retest sells. Yeah, looks good. I wouldn't take this trade though, because there's news in an hour. I wouldn't take this trade. Did you take GJ sells? No, I did not take GJ sells. Again, I mentioned that my trade is in this area here or above this area there, you know, above 136.550. All right, just put this on. Buys above 136.550. And I guess sells below like 136.270, something like that. Yeah, that makes sense. 136 below 136.270. Looks good. Kind of like maybe want to streamline this area here to make it much more nicer and slimmer. You know what I'm saying? Let's put some slim T in this zone. Make it look much more slimmer. There we go. Perfect. If we close bearish, it could be nice sell because we are on a 4-hour resistance. What do you think, guys? Yeah, I think so. I think so. I think it could be really nice sells if you're looking at it. I mean, this candle has broken the low of the previous candle now. So it should continue moving down to this area. I'm going to be looking for sells below 136.270, 136.300. I'm going to decide to wait a little bit.
Good morning, Raja.
Hey, good morning. Yeah, this GJ should continue moving bearish down to the support.
My I took sells at 136,528.
Nice. Oh, 5 pips ago.
Yeah, 5 pips.
Nice. US 30. Price has broken below two support areas with sell with 15-minute candle closing bearish or below recent support. Okay. So, what's going on here? Are you looking for buys or sells or probably sells, eh? Probably sells down till here. That makes sense. Raja, get into a trade, dude. I want to make money. Get in a trade, dude. No, I'm gonna wait for this area to break 136, 300. I haven't taken a trade since yesterday. No trade. Yesterday, New York session, no trade. Asian session, no trade. Coming into New York here, still, I want price to go to my levels so I can execute a trade. Other than that, I'm not executing nothing. I think it's very important to stay disciplined. Do you ever get tired of reading the same questions on a daily basis? No, actually, I don't. I just find it hilarious that people who come here every day, sometimes they can ask the same questions every day, and I think it's interesting. It's interesting how the human mind works, really. Creating topics for the 4-hour candle. Since I'm already done for the week, I entered a small position of my win. Oh, nice.
10 pips.
Yeah, this thing's coming down over here, 136, 300.
Letting it run and run. And should be good.
Hey mate, I'm struggling a bit with drawing zones properly. Can you have a look and let me know what you think? Let's take a look here. This is GU 15-minute, GU 1 hour, waiting for support. Action somewhere in this box. Yeah, it looks good. Looks good. Lines are good. I mean, I don't use lines. I use like rectangles, but looks good. This one day, some guy came on and he sent me a chart, and I looked at the chart, and I'm like, yeah, it looks good. And he's like, what do you mean looks good? I'm like, looks good? I mean, it's good. He's like, no, you're not giving me a complete answer. I'm like, what else am I supposed to tell you? I mean, it looks bad. I mean, it looks good. Just let it be, see what happens. How you decide on the thickness of a zone? See, that comes with like practice and kind of like tinkering with the zones a bit. It's kind of like when you're trying to make the perfect steak. How do you decide how much longer do you want the steak to be cooked on one side and then the other, right? We don't know unless you try it. You try it over and over again, and someone said thick. Yeah. When this range is broken, are you going to be looking at the 30-minute and entry as soon as the break of the 15-minute? I'm going to be looking at break below 136, 300. If I can get a break below 136, 300, I think that's going to be a very, very good idea to take a trade. Or if a support is formed in this area, then I might be looking for buys, but we'll see what happens. I think there's still like a long time for me to take a trade here. Man, some questions are so retarded. Raja, do you have a 6-figure bank account? How will that help you? Come on. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of discouraging. I'm unable to make out these buys or sells without help. Yeah, I think that's why live streams are bad, because sometimes you don't want to do the work because I don't know, it's like holding hands, it's like training wheels. Sometimes when you're riding a bicycle, you don't want to get rid of the training wheels because you think you're gonna fall, even though you're not gonna fall. So, what advice do you have if a candle is breaking a support and then going back up in the zone? Um, Maybe close the trade. That's going to be a good advice. Ooh, gold is pushing up to 1716 here. What's the spread on gold? Spread on gold is 6 pips.
It is crazy.
Yeah, that's a lot of spread on gold. Hi, I'm struggling a bit with drawings. Oh, we already answered that question. Can you take a quick look at this chart? I will take a quick look. Andrew Fava. Raja, would you ever lean towards using a regulated broker? My friend, Vantage FX is a regulated broker. I mean, come on, man. Vantage FX is a regulated broker. At the same time, it depends in what country regulation you're looking at, right? Most people say regulated brokers should be in the US. Why? Why not in Canada? Why not in Australia or New Zealand? Oh, USA. I don't live in USA, I live in Canada. Looking for sells after it breaks the support. Yeah, I'm looking at the same thing over here. Can you tell me more about Vantage? How do you like them? I think they're good. Like the main problem you should have is a broker giving your money, right? I mean, if you get your money right in time, then that means the broker is good. I mean, I did a withdrawal on Friday for 25,000. It came in yesterday. It's pretty good. That's all I care about. Regulated broker, unregulated broker, offshore, onshore, I don't give a shit. Unless I get my money back, I'm cool with it. You know, I'm cool with it. Ooh. Yes. Yes, I'm riding on a bicycle right now. If the price brokers the 136,270, how would you place the stop loss? Because in 30-minute, 1 hour, I think the stop loss is too big. If it breaks 136,270, then we're gonna see what happens, you know. But I want to see. I mean, okay, let's say price breaks below this area right here, then I would want to see a retracement to kind of like a resistance to take a sell. That's what I would want. But if there's a candle closing below this support, then I would take a sell too. It's just really hard to say what's going to happen when it hasn't happened yet. Let's take a quick look at this chart. Quick look at this chart. Ooh, someone is selling SPX 500. SPX 500 is being sold over here. Looks good, looks good. Looks good. Can you tell a story from when, how, why you started, what happened, how you handled? Yeah, I'm gonna put this guy in mute. Oh wow, I think a lot of people are in these GJ cells over here. Very nice. See, this candle broke the low over here, then it made sense for it to continue moving down. Stop was like 10 pips and it should be around 10, 11 pips right now. Do you take any trades outside the stream? No. When the stream ends, my trading time ends, for the most part. You missed the GJ drop in Asian. Yes. That was missed. Do you think the GP CAD range is too big to retest the low? Glenn, I think if you send a chart, that would help us a lot. Because, I mean, you just... Yeah, it could. It could. It needs to break below this low over here. It could test this low. Once it breaks this low, then, you know, it could continue going down. That's what I would think. It could continue moving down. If you look on the 1 hour over here too, I mean...
Yeah, I wanted the 1 hour to close bearish. I just think that I've seen when it pushes too much that it's less likely to get to the low. It's like 40 pips.
Yeah, it makes sense. Once it breaks this low, then it would make sense to continue down. All right, look at that rejection over there. Damn. They're ranging now. Your JPY also pulled up. Just gotta be patient. Gotta be patient, and the trades are gonna come to you. If you look on the 1 hour over here, 1 hour is coming up here. If this 30-minute breaks the high on this 30-minute, I'm going to be looking for buys for price to continue going up to 136,800. That's something I'm going to be looking at, which would also make sense, you know. But if this candle respects the high on a 30-minute candle, then that would mean that price will continue to go down to fill this wick possibly. So I'm just waiting here in this range. I think at like buy stop or something like that at like 136, 570. Yeah, it would be pretty good. 570, 580, buy stop there. Will this strategy work on all other pairs? What strategy? If you can explain me what kind of strategy I'm using, it's perfect. Do you trade zone to zone or how? No, I mean, the way I look for trades is just very simple. You know, I'm just looking at things right over here, you know, and if price comes up towards 575, 580, I'm going to take a buy, and I would expect price to continue moving up towards 136,800. So I think that'll be a very good idea here for the trade. So just kind of like waiting here. I'm not sure if the euro interest rates is gonna affect pound a lot. For all I know is it increases the spreads, and that's about it. Doesn't really spike up or down. Do exotic pairs consolidate more than major pairs? It depends. It depends. What's this? GU 30-minute. I entered a sell in GU, stop loss above the 30-minute. I will secure it 1-to-1 if it hits. Yeah, makes sense. I don't necessarily like it because there's kind of like a support over here in the 30-minute candle. So it's very difficult. But hey, if it works, it works. Ooh, this is my GU chart. It's a pretty odd looking chart. Yeah, it's exactly like GJ in Asian session yesterday. Exactly like Asian session yesterday. So this technically should continue moving bearish. Can you please take a look on this chart? What are your thoughts? Ooh, sells on EJ. Very nice. Nice. Could be a nice trade if it starts to break below the low over here. I haven't taken any trade yet. Nothing. GJ is also continuing down. It's in this range over here. Can you explain about breakouts and stop loss in the break? Yeah, I mean, if price breaks out, then I'll put my stop loss below the breakout candle. So this, if this breaks out or the next one breaks out, then stop is going to be below that breakout candle. I feel like the market is gonna really mess around with a lot of people. I just feel like it because the way GJ is set up today than what it was set up like yesterday, two completely different things. Yesterday was really easy, right? Yesterday was so simple. Price came down, took sells, and price just dropped. Today it's equally as retarded. I mean, it's just so hard to trade. I mean, look, it's this range. Like whoever's trying to force trades in this range, man, you're gonna have a really bad day. I hope you don't have a bad day, but there are very high chance you'll have a bad day because this is a range. Price is ranging over here. This is goat shit. This is like 30, like this is goat shit right here. Goat shit consolidation. This is what we call goat shit consolidation. Consolidation. The reason I call this the goat shit consolidation is because when you're walking in the park and you step in goat shit, you're like, oh man, I stepped in goat shit, man. I shouldn't have stepped over here. Everyone's laughing at Tati. Yeah, so you need price to break above for buys or break below for sells. Yeah, let's see here. What's this? First trade, this trade. Oh, yeah. Who's this? Liam, send this to me in Slack and I'm going to look at this later on. Because right now we're looking at the live market here. I'll look at that after the stream. Yeah, just kind of like chilling here, waiting. See, for EJ to continue going down, it needs to break below this area, 121,960. It needs to break below to continue down. And I mean, if it starts dropping before the euro interest rates, then I don't know. That'll be pretty interesting. Because that would mean is that wherever it starts to drop, let's say if it starts to drop down, that might mean the news is getting priced in or not really sure. So for euro, I'd probably wait for the news. Can you use pending orders once the support is broken and candles closed? Yeah, sure. You can use pending orders in that case. If you start, for example, on the 1 hour time frame and see it's bearish, and you'll go down to 15 minutes, see if it's bearish too, it should continue bearish. Yes. What do you think about this sell? Well, without a chart, we don't know. So GJ is ranging so far. See here, it's just in this range over here. In my perspective, it's in the range here. Your JPY is kind of trying to break up. You know, it kind of like created a support over here late night yesterday. It created like a resistance here. This candle closed with no wick on the top, which means there's no range for next candle to go up. So next candle reversed. It's time to break the low here at 129.60. If it breaks the low, then there's a very high chance it might come down till, if you look on the smaller time frames, maybe, yeah, I think down over here, like 121.700. That's like 20 pips away almost. So yeah, what's this? US 30, possible buy after 15 minutes above the previous. What do you think? Yeah, I think it looks good. I also think at the same time it created a low over here. So, I mean, US 30 is pretty difficult to trade. Very, very difficult to trade. You see here you have this area over here. And if you measure this area, this is like what, 18 points away? So what I can see is that price made a support here. This candle broke it, made a low coming up. It may form a minor resistance to continue moving down. That's what makes sense to me. You know, and you need enough range too. So if a resistance is formed around 26150, then you know there's a much better range to continue down. Ooh, someone just shorted EJ. Damn. How's your $1,000 account coming on US 30? It's at $880. US 30 is really hard to trade. I can't seem to win any trades on US 30. I have a 40% win rate on US 30. It's extremely difficult. Would you mind take a look at AUD USD? Yes, I will do mind. I think you need to send a chart. If you send a chart, we can take a look at it. This candle broke resistance. Is it better to enter right after this candle close or wait for next candle to break the previous candle? It depends. I mean, if you enter when this candle closed, you're entering based on the fact that price will continue making higher highs and higher lows and continue up to the target. But if you're waiting for a candle to break the high, then your stop loss is going to be much bigger, right? So it depends. Yeah, looks like your JPY is going to continue its momentum here down till I think at least like 10 more pips down to like 800 and then essentially further down to 121.700. All right, this is Euro CHF. Taking a sell till this candle. Yeah, looks good. Looks good. If you see very clear setups like EJ, but it's not your pair, would you still trade it? Nope. From a beginner perspective and from experienced trader's perspective, no, I wouldn't. I'm not even remotely interested in trading EJ. I'm only interested in trading GJ above this area for buys or below this area for sells, and that's all what I'm looking for. Yeah, you know, you got to be very, very disciplined. To really make it in Forex, you have to be extremely disciplined, you know, because there are a lot of distractions. Like I come on here and people send me charts of all kinds, you know, of all analysis, all patterns, and some of them are really, really good analysis, and I still don't take them because I know I'm only focused on what I'm focused on. And if I just stay focused on what I'm focused on in the long run, I have the ability to really, like, you know, compound my gains, and that's really important. I think for my psychology, it's really, really important. What was the most important lesson you learned in trading? I think the most important lesson I learned was to just focus on what you do every day. Because if you can focus on what you specifically do every day, like let's say I only trade GJ, right? And you'll see me always marking up GJ, always talking about GPJPY. It's because I've seen this pair for so long. I know its tendencies, I know the way it moves, I know the way it forms fake outs, I know the way it like breakouts, if it's going to do a retest after a break or not. You know, I kind of know all those things, not to like 100%, but like maybe 70, 80%, I can like kind of correctly gauge where price is going to go, right? It's only because I've been watching it for so long. I tried trading US30. I've been watching US30 for about 2 months now, and it's very difficult. I can't seem to find the sweet spot for US30. Maybe like, you know, like I know it moves a lot after NYC Open, and I'm not on the charts at that time, so I kind of like miss some moves, but that's a part of my plan. You know, like my trading starts at 6:30 a.m. Eastern and it goes to like 9:30. Most of the times I'm done within 3 hours. Yeah. Within 3 hours, I'm done trading. So if I'm looking for one trade or two trades, like within 3 hours, I'm finished. Try smart money strategy on US30. It's really good. I don't know what smart money strategy is. Is there dumb money and smart money? What about my money? Is my money dumb? Closing 50% of a trade due to a 15-minute close against you without a wick, good trade management, or a bit preemptive considering 15 minutes a week time frame. See, Curtis, if you keep on doing that, you're going to see some different results every time, right? And if you do this, let's say 50 times, you're going to come to your own conclusion that what works best for you. You know, like most times, you know, if a small time frame candle like the 15 minute closes against me, then I'm going to look to see, okay, was that a 30-minute close as well? Or is there still time left for the 30-minute to close? Has the 30-minute broken the high or the low? Has the 1 hour broken the high or the low? You know, so those things are really important when you're looking at the 15-minute candles closes. You know, but like let's say if the trend is moving down and you have a 15-minute candle that closed bullish, then I'm going to look to see, okay, does that bullish candle has a wick on the top, or if it has no wick on the top, like, you know, what's really happening. So like, you know, there are a lot of different scenarios that come into play. So as you trade, as you manage your risk over time, what you're going to see is that you will start to create your own judgments on things that you want to see, and you know, cool stuff like that. Like it's really cool. Like when you take, let's say, 50 trades, you know, when you take 50 trades and every trade is different, but the method and the ideology is the same. The philosophy with which you took the trade, it's all the same, but it's presented in different ways, different forms. Candles have closed differently. So you start to create your own judgments based on that. Which book every trader should read? I think first of all, you got to go through the Bible and then really learn about what patience is, confidence is. And then you got to go through the Book of Candles. Book of Candles is really good. Yeah, there are a lot of books. Um, do you think it's good to learn on trading view and skip back method? With the skip back method, yeah, sure. I don't know what that is, but I guess it means going back in the candles. Yeah, it looks good. All right. Hope you are doing well, homie. Mind rating my charts. Mind rating my. I think your chart needs a little bit of a makeover here. I honestly think it needs a little bit of a makeover. Yeah. I mean, where's this big fat zone from? Where's this line from? I mean, all right, let's rate this chart here. This big zone, it makes absolutely no sense on the 30-minute time frame. This zone in the middle, it makes no sense at all with what's happening in this area over here. This zone is okay. This zone could be a little bit higher. So it's, yeah, that was my, it's not good. Which sound are you listening? I'm listening to the sound of YouTube audio library. Trading journal set out as screenshot analysis or more an Excel sheet. My trading journal is basically this YouTube stream. After I'm done for the day, I go back, I rewatch the stream. I rewatch certain parts, parts where I could have taken trades, where I could have done better. So that's what I do. Is there any point in your learning period when you failed so many times and you decided to quit trading? No, not really. Not really. I failed so many times that a point came where I got frustrated by failing, and my failures were just over trading. My failures were just over risking. Those were the only reasons I was failing. And trust me, if you are failing right now, the only reason you are failing currently, I know some people who were active and now they are not active as much they were before, is because you're over trading, silently you're over risking, you're not asking for help. It makes no sense, and a point came where I got really frustrated by over trading and over risking. I got frustrated to be disciplined, because I realized that, hey man, I've lost around $80,000 of my savings. I had like 15,000 to my name left, and I'm like, man, okay, this is not good at all. So I got frustrated in being disciplined. I failed so much. I never failed enough to quit. I failed enough to be frustrated in getting back into discipline. That's it. And discipline is what you're watching right now. I'm not taking any trades. I'm in no trades at all, because I know that if price is going to go above 136,550, I'm going to have a really, really good trade. If price goes below 136, 270, 280, whatever, I'm going to have a really, really good trade. And that's the only trade I'm going to take. And if I miss it, so be it. I'm going to come back tomorrow and I'm going to have a really, really good trade, just like we had a really, really good trade yesterday. So, I mean, if you fail, you want to quit, go ahead, quit. But just understand this. As long as you don't overtrade or over risk, you will never ever make it in this market, because this market will fuck you up. I think most times, like, people really let them down themselves. Hey Raja, shall I put it on because heavy news impact is coming? Let's take a look here. Sell stop under the lows. I think you already have a sell stop here, right? Is this already a sell stop? Oh, you're already in. Okay. Yeah, it makes sense. I think when the news comes, you can just put stops at break even. What's the balance you can only improve and learn by having screen time trading? Yes, screen time. Yeah, like I talk to a lot of people and some say Forex is a scam because they didn't make any money. This is why people say Forex is a scam. because they didn't make any money, because they overtraded, they over leveraged, and it didn't work. Obviously, it's not going to work. You know, people don't want to give it time. That's the whole problem. You need to give it time. You need to say, okay, you know what? I'm going to give it maybe 4 months of dedicated discipline. And if you can stick to 4 months of dedicated discipline, there's no doubt in my mind that you can't be profitable. 100%. And people also misuse the word scam. Um, they misuse the word scam. Scam means when you pay somebody and they don't deliver what they promised and they run away. That's what scam means. You think your JPY will continue bearish after 15 minutes? Yeah, I mean, there's Euro news coming, and just by looking at it, it seems like it should continue down towards 121,700. That's what it seems like it should do, 121,700. You think you can flip 1,000 to 50,000 in 1 year with that mindset? No, you can't. You can't. Whenever you have a mindset of, oh man, I'm going to deposit this $1,000 and by the end of 6 months, I'm going to turn it into, let's say, 20,000. You know, that's not a good mindset to have. A good mindset to have is, hey, I'm going to start with $1,000 and I'm going to see how consistent I am on those $1,000. You know, if I'm consistent enough on those $1,000 for, let's say, a month or 2 months, then I'm going to add more money, and then I'm going to try to really trade it, just like I did. You know, I started looking at US 30 around 2 months ago, and with $1,000 I started, and I figured to see that, okay, let's see how consistent I am on US 30, and I'm not consistent on US 30, so it doesn't make any sense for me to put more money in to trade US 30, right? I mean, why would I want to lose money? Raja, how can I join your program? Do you have a link or website I can go to? Well, if you can't find it, then it doesn't exist. Is Forex an indestructible industry? I think Forex is going to get destroyed if we stop using currency. So now you got to think of it. When will that time come? In the near future? In 10 years? 50 years? 100 years? We don't know yet. Wow, I think the only trade running good is your JPY here. Once they rejected this area coming down. I think GJ is also pretty good. It's coming down to fill this wick here. Can you explain how 3-day bootcamp works? Nope, everything is on wherever you find it. Have you found the reason for your inconsistency with US 30? Yes, it's very hard. It's extremely hard to trade. If you think GJ is hard to trade, man, US 30 is twice as hard. Ooh, looks like we're coming towards 121,800 over here.
Bonjour, bonjour.
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah, good. Sorry I'm late. I was actually having a French class online.
Oh, nice. Could you explain what you meant with no wick versus... Oh, we already done that. Man, I go to questions on YouTube and then I come back to Zoom. Big difference. Huge difference in questions.
You're not YouTube. Never on YouTube anyways. I just go on there to like, and then I'm off.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Yeah, still waiting for Euro interest rates. They're keeping the rates the same. They haven't changed them in a very, very, very long time. The main move happens with their press conference. It's normally at 8:30. Oh yeah, there it is. ECB press conference, 8:30. So it mainly moves around like 8 a.m., 8 a.m. Eastern to like 8:30 a.m. Eastern. How do you guys call it again when market moves before news comes out? It depends. It mainly like priced in, but it's kind of like coming down, so I'm not really sure. I mean, if it comes down, it may tap into 121, 700 and like move up, or it's really hard to say, because it's really hard to say. This was a support, it formed like minor support and broke it. What might also happen is that maybe it might spike up to 121, 970 and then drop with that later on. Who knows? We'll have to see what happens. What are 3 things you wish you had learned earlier in your Forex career to help excel better? All right, I'm going to mute everybody here. Awesome. Yeah, the 3 things I learned were basically I should have learned. I think it's not about should have learned. It's like behavior, and behavior was like choose the time you trade and just focus on that time and aim for 1 to 2 trades a day. Whoever asks me, hey, like, what one thing I should do to turn my trading around, and I always say just focus on 1 or 2 trades. If you can focus on 1 or 2 trades, as easy as that sound, and some might say, oh, that's dumb. As dumb as that sound, it makes sense. You just focus on 1 or 2 trades, and if you lose a trade, it's really easy to, like, learn from that loss and stuff like that. I need help. How can you detach your emotions from your trading when you take a loss? The number one thing is when you take a loss, I mean, we did a whole webinar on this, what you should do when you take a loss. There are webinars on every topic you can think of, actually. Let's take a look here. Can I bring it up here? Can I bring it up? Yeah, I can bring it up here. Yeah, so... Yeah, Liam, this was the webinar here. Learning from losses. Defining a loss, what happens when you take a loss, things to do when you take a loss, plus examples, and a simulation session. This is pretty good, this database, pretty organized now. Gotta add more stuff to it. So you see GJ is still ranging here, nothing to do on GJ, nothing to see, and your JPY is waiting for the news here. I mean, this new candle has formed. In 15 minutes we're gonna have the news. GPUSD is still ranging here. US30 has broken above over here at this point. Now it looks like it should come up over here. What I've noticed is that US30, it doesn't respect the same type of price action as GJ. That's what I've noticed, and that's what has created that's what has made GJ US30 harder to trade. I've concentrated charts and setups only 3 to 4 hours per day. Yeah, I think just like focusing on 2 to 3 hours a day on the charts, that has really helped me trade better. When you're focusing on 2 to 3 hours a day on trading and that's all what you're looking at, I think, because at the same time what happens is now once you're done, so let's say once I'm done at like 9 a.m., at 9 a.m. Eastern in about like an hour and a half, when I'm done with my session, I'm not going to open the charts, because I know if I'm going to open the charts, and if this was me 2 years ago or 2.5 years ago, I'd be opening the chart and I'd be looking at a potential trade. I'd be looking at, let's say if I only look at GJ, and at that time if I look at, let's say, GBP USD, I'd be like, oh man, GBP USD is setting up for a nice move, man. Look at this, I'd send it to my friends. So that's the kind of mindset you have to step out of. Once you're done your session, you have to just say, okay, you know what, this is it, I'm done, I'm not going to look at the charts again. A lot of people have this habit, they keep on looking at the charts for some reason, I don't know why. Like either you're waiting for like a prophecy to come on or something, but you really have to understand that you don't have to look at the charts when you're done with your session. It makes no sense at all. And I think that's something that took me a long time to really understand, that it's not healthy to look at the charts when you're done trading. You know, and you really gotta snap out of that. It's super bad. You know, you go to the gym, you're looking at the charts. You go to the grocery store, you're looking at the charts. Man, there were times we'd go for nights out. We're getting bottles, and guys would be looking at the charts. And I was there. I'd still be looking at the charts. You know, we'd go out on Wednesdays. It'd be like 12:30, 1 a.m. and I'd be looking at the charts. Hey guys, pre-London's about to start. And the girl's over there with her little, you know, bottle book. She's like, yeah, you guys owe like, you know, 4,400, 5,000, whatever. And yeah, it's pretty crazy. US 30 is manipulated by a small group of institutions. Yes, US 30. We were looking for a trade on US 30 the other day. I think it was a sell, and Walmart came out with the earnings report, and they were really, really big. I think that was for this first quarter. When March ended, they came out with the earnings report because Walmart sales went, you know, with coronavirus, and US 30 went up. So, you know, like there are a lot of things. Those little fundamental things, they affect US 30 a lot. So the pre-market data was negative when we came on the stream. Oh, and it's still negative. Are you waiting for a candle close below above those levels, or are you going to enter at the break or the wick? I'm not sure. I'm going to wait, because the first thing what I'm going to do is, if price breaks above, let's say 136,550, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to see where can I have my stop loss. That's the first thing I got to figure out. You know, so this candle is going to close in 24 minutes, and I don't know, man, if this candle closes somewhere here, and if the next candle goes above this zone, then I'm going to place the stop below the current candle. So it depends, you know, what happens when price comes till here. So this is a great example of waiting for price to come to you. You need to wait for price to come to you. That's really important. Plan is to trade this break retest. Shit happens. Took a sell. Yeah, I think you should have closed the trade when you saw price ranging. Or maybe close the trade right over here too when you saw this bullish candle. You know. I mean, always look to see how could you have taken the opposite trade, or how could you have, man, if I would have gotten $1 for every time I said, always look to see how you could have taken the trade, or always look to see how could you have lowered your loss, I would have at least $40-50 by now. You know, so I mean, those are things I used to do. I always used to see, if I would take a loss, I would always look back and see, okay, if I took a loss here, instead of getting emotional about that loss, how could I have reduced that loss? Because knowing that market is going to do the same things over and over again, and if I don't look at my loss, there's a very high probability. Here's the thing, if you don't look at that loss, there's a very high probability that you will take that same loss again. Extremely high probability. You know, and if you do look at that loss and you try to see that, okay, how could I have made this loss smaller? That's so next time you're going to take that same loss, you're going to take that same negative trade, but the only thing that's going to change is that you're going to know how to make that loss smaller. You're going to have those clues that, hey, this happened before and now this is happening again. Maybe I can close early now, or maybe I can take some risk off of a losing position, because it makes no sense for you to take the whole loss, right? I mean, if you see it coming. Sometimes people, they see the loss coming. It's so funny. Sometimes price is moving to your stop loss. You know it's going to go to your stop loss. You know that. And you still don't close position. Sometimes people remove the stop loss, man. Why? I mean, don't remove it. Just take the loss. Do you know Ryan Gilpin? Yeah, he bought a bunch of followers. I know him. GJ sell stops idea. Let's take a look here. Man, yesterday some guy got mad at me because I didn't look at his chart. There are so many people here. There are 2,500 people here, you know, and there's so many charts being sent, so many things being added. Of course, I'm going to miss the comments. Looking for support to break retest. Sell stop. Sell stop here. I think a sell stop would be here would be better. I'm looking for sells right below this area here. All right. Have you ever tried options trading? No. On Vantage FX, yes, I use ECN account. Can you unmute me? Yeah, you can unmute yourself. What's the difference between sell stop and sell limit? Sell stop is, let's say you place a sell stop here, right? Sell stop means that you're expecting price to activate it and continue moving down. A sell limit is placed at the top, right here. So if you think prices come over here and reject it, then you're going to place a sell limit over here. You're going to go, price is going to go up, activate it, and continue down.
Hey, good morning, Rakeel.
Hey.
So basically, yeah, my bias on GJ will be sales for now, as the drop from yesterday on Nation, and I see how it's making lower highs and lower lows. So as soon as you know we keep respecting 136,500, I can see it. You know, keep going bearish.
Nice.
My bias. I'll send the chart right now.
I wonder why you didn't say go to Google. That question came in Zoom chat. You know, questions in Zoom chat are given VIP priority. Hope you're good. What are your thoughts on this GJ setup? Cheers, bud. All right, bud. Let's take a look here. Let's take a look here. This is, GJ 30 minute. Waiting for a break. I think you spelled break wrong. Break of the range, resistance for sells. Waiting for break above. Yeah, it looks good. You're breaking above here to take buys and break below here to take sells. Kind of like what I have right now. Looks pretty solid. Looks like GU is also returning from this little consolidation here. We are 5 minutes away until the news. It's gonna get really, really interesting here. 4 hours still bearish, but it's at a support here, rejecting the support. So kind of waiting here. Do you know where Javier FX disappeared for a long time from Instagram and social media? I think he died. I mean, it's just wrong. You know, like, it's just wrong. When people start something, they should finish till the end. You know, like when you start like mentorships and this, like, it's just so wrong that people pay you and then you just disappear. It's just wrong, man. It's super bad. Do you know Nick Legend? I have no idea who Nick Legend is. Hey Raja, thanks for the stream. I'm analyzing GG on the daily swing trade. Your thoughts are appreciated. Okay. Let's take a look here. Ooh, wrong chart, man. Wrong chart.
Going back to the gulag.
Yeah. Straight back in the gulag.
With no self-revive case.
GJ is stuck in this nasty range. If you look left, there's a lot of traffic to the left. It's a 50 pip range. I was looking for sales pre-London, but man, didn't happen. You know, anything good. I'm still looking for sales to some sort of correction to the price where we are right now. But my sales is gonna be kind of the same setup that you have. I'm expecting. I'm looking for sales 136, 250 below there,
Yeah.
and then yeah, I'm gonna take sales if I get some confirmation. But other than that, man, it's nasty range. It's been playing in this 50 pip range almost 9 hours.
Right. As long as we get like that 8 a.m. push, it could be either, you know, going up or down for liquidity. But
Mhm.
if it goes down, you know, to catch more volume, I'll definitely take a sell below 137. I think it was whatever rec you have marked there.
Yeah, 136. I think Raja has
136 400. Oh no, below 136 300. Around there.
Yeah.
That would be super safe. And you know, if you look to the left, then there's like a complete free range down to 135 490.
Yeah.
And if you see the head and shoulders formation with a harmonic pattern, just kidding.
Yeah, I don't know about head and shoulders.
Head and shoulders is a shampoo.
Yeah. But yeah, my support, it's considering the previous support that we had 2 days ago. My support is 136 250, that border point. So once we break below that, man, it's gonna be a nice drop. First target should be easy, 135 750, and from there, so maybe more. We may get even more than that. So I'm expecting pullback today, and then tomorrow is gonna be the entire weekly candle closing bullish. You know, maybe where the price is right now. Maybe we're gonna come back tomorrow to this area right here.
Yeah, we got news coming in right now.
Yeah, get ready. You're gonna have a sell stop on EJ?
Nope.
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 You haven't traded EJ in a while, right? Remember when we were doing our Asian session like about a year ago?
Yeah.
That we trade EJ? We'll move so slow. It's like a mix between UJ and GJ.
Yeah, EJ has its own movements here. I mean, oh wow, look at that move. Straight bullish.
Yeah.
Straight to heaven.
Ooh, GJ also, my GJ buy got activated there.
Oof. Careful there.
Yeah. My GJ buy got activated. Had a buy stop at 136 580.
Nice.
Because of news, right?
Yes. Yeah, it should continue running here. How did you work out? How did you work out stop for this? Oh, for this buy stop? Just like a 15 pip stop. I have a 15 pip stop, and as it continues moving up, I'm gonna tighten my stop up to like 10, 11 pips, and I'm gonna secure positions at like, oh shit, okay. All right. Secured positions right over here.
Ooh, wow.
Oh wow, man, this is nice.
Secure.
Yeah, I got like
Secure.
15
Beautiful.
pips out of it.
What a way to start the morning. Awesome.
Yeah.
Secure some.
The thing about I stopped trading news for a while. I stopped. You know, as soon as
What news was that exactly? Because I didn't see them showing up on my charts.
So if you go to forexfactory.com, you'll see 745 was your interest rates.
Mhm.
Yeah, I had a buy stop at 136,580 I mentioned before, and came up to like 10, 12, 15 pips, closed everything. I think this trade took like maybe 2 minutes.
So I guess rates stay the same.
Yep, rate
Beautiful.
stayed the same, and euro just went. Wow, look at that
Yeah.
push. Yeah, this was. So we waited. I waited an hour and 15 minutes for a 2-minute move. Done for the day. Pew pew pew. Wow, this is amazing. I had 2 10 lots. And so nice.
well, it was worth it. You haven't traded news in a while.
No, it wasn't the news. It was just normal movement. I mean, you know, like buys above 136,550, it worked.
Gotcha.
How do you deal with requests accepted by server? I think that's a good thing. Risky trade though? No, not at all. I planned it. It wasn't a risky trade at all. I planned this trade since I came on the stream here, and it worked according to plan. If it came with normal price action, that's fine. If it played with news, that's still fine. You know, but this is something I was anticipating. At first it got activated, came down, I went into an 8 pip drawdown. I'm like, oh man, this is gonna stop me out. And then it started pushing out. I'm like, okay, perfect. And then I added another position. Let's see, it's beautiful. US 30 reversed. Damn. Where did you add the second position? Around 136,590. Yeah. Oh yeah. So the first one I had at like 565, and then the second one got activated at like 136,600. I think for US 30 to continue down, you needed a, like, you know, I guess like a 30-minute close here, because it gets really hard, man. US 30 is extremely hard to trade, especially when it comes to the news. But what I'm really thinking is, why did US 30 move this much with the Euro news? That's something I don't understand, like how that affects things. Let's take a look at this chart. This chart, entry candle lost this trade. I believe initial bias was correct, just no probability. Yeah, no probability. You entered this trade over here. This candle went up. You should have exited the trade, but you still stayed in the trade. You know, so now you need to look to see, again, I'm going to repeat, how could you have made your loss smaller? And how, yeah, you need to see how could you have made your loss smaller, basically. I mean, even if you look on the 30-minute candle, this one closed bullish, so it just made no sense to hold the sell. There's no way you could have prevented that. YouTube chat be like, I'm in a GJ sell. Oh yeah, let me write my trade here on the screen. Got trade 1 GJ buys. That's it. My one trade for the day. See, now I'm done for the day, just like yesterday. My day is finished. GJ preparing to go down. Why will GJ prepare to go down? GJ needs to break below 136,270 to go down. This is a range. This is a range over here. You know, the candle is bullish. If you look on the daily candle is bearish, whatever. 4-hour candle is bullish over here. 4-hour is just ranging. This is a huge range in the 4-hour candle. 1 hour is bullish, broke the high of the previous 1 hour. 30-minute candle is bullish, broke the high of the previous 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 30-minute candles. 15-minute candle is bullish, broke above 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, it's just so bullish. I mean, saying these things like it's preparing to go down or it's going to go down, that's doesn't make any sense. What you should say is that price should break below. When price breaks below 136,270, then it's good to take sells. You know, in the same way you could say if price breaks above 136,550, then it's great to take buys because that's our minor resistance that we have right over here. So, you know, so we really need to change our thinking. We really need to change it, because once you come into market fluidity, you stop thinking about prices moving up, it should start to go down. No, when price is moving up, you start thinking about, okay, how can I get a piece of this if price is moving up? What do I need to do? You know, if someone's missed this move, maybe they might say, okay, I'm going to wait for price to maybe retrace, create like a minor support, and then go back up. You know, something along those lines. Or someone can say, well, okay, I'm going to wait for price to break above, let's say 136,850, and then take a buy for price to go up. Yeah, I had a buy stop. It slipped. I had a buy stop at like 580. It slipped up to like 600. I agree. This is a lower high to make a lower low. I lost this trade. Do you think that it would make sense to look for a buy position now? Yeah, I mean, if you can, like, you know, wait for a resistance to form or whatever, then you can look for a buy. But that would mean you'll have to wait a little bit more. Isn't it possible that that trade could have been a fake out since it's coming out of a range? Oh, looks like we're hitting TP over here. Perfect. Beautiful.
Nice.
Charlene, a fake out is a fake out when it happens. You know, what we saw was price broke above resistance, and that means price will continue going up. What we think that it might be a fake out. So there's a big difference between trading what you see and trading what you think, right? So you can think now that price will come back down as a fake out, but what we see now is price is moving bullish to go up. You know, and I think buys played out here today. Oh, you okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Damn, the thing's going.
Beautiful,
Yeah,
man.
same as AJ.
This might be the fundamental we need to break out that range.
Oh, Vincent got the Corona wave too.
No, you know what this is? This is another great episode of Stress-Free Trading by Raja Bank.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Got it for the highlight.
I thought I was late for an entry, so I didn't take it. I probably could have jumped on.
Yeah.
Entry.
Oh, someone is still holding GJSL. They say they got hope.
So
No way.
Good luck.
My runner's making more money than my main position.
Wow, man, this thing is just rallying. Yeah, man, this is I'm so happy for myself that I waited. I actually waited for a trade. For 2-minute trade. And when you wait, it feels good, trust me. You're right. Charlene's right. You just jump in a buy right now and watch it retrace.
I'm still 3 more minutes for this hourly candle to close, so we may have another push before the hour close. Because EJ is going to the moon.
Yeah. Let's take a look on the daily here. Wow, EJ filled that daily wick and it's coming up to this massive daily resistance where it's going to come up here. This is where people take sells because it's at a higher time frame resistance, but in reality, it pushes up even more.
And
It's like the knife just goes deeper and deeper. I wanted to use some other term, but I can't because, you know, we gotta.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. Wow, looks like we're gonna tap 137 and continue till 137 100.
Yeah.
Wow, 52 pips in less than 50 minutes.
EJ does not retest, just goes.
So someone said the indices are correlated with pairs, but what I don't understand is how is the US index correlated with the euro? That's something I don't understand. And people who took these buys here on GJ, you know, on YouTube, just give a like on the stream, you know. It helps a lot of people. It helps a lot of people to do stress-free trading. This was literally 2-minute trade here. Damn.
Yeah, a well-deserved like.
Need that GJ retracement to take buys. Yeah, I think there should be a retracement on GJ. The only problem here is that we're now entering another range area here, and I think any support formed on GJ, I believe, should continue price up. Yeah, GJ's been on crack this week.
Charlene got Charlene's a trip.
How to deal with greed when you already made $882 on a $300 account? The way to go with greed is just look around yourself. You know, look around and see how much are people making in a day where you are right now. You know, I know people that make $120, $200 in a day after working 8 hours, 10 hours, you know. And if you're making even half of that in a quarter of the time spent in the markets, man, that's power. That's power. You should just say, okay, you know what? I did really good and I'm just going to call it a day. If you made $80, if you made $50 in like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, just end the day. Because that's power. I made like more than 500 in like, you know, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and I'm done for the day. I'm like, I don't even feel the need to take any trade, because you know how hard it is to execute a trade and win a trade. It's really hard, man. It's really, really hard. So once you win a trade, you've done something really hard, and now you should be like, okay, you know what? Now I need a break from life. I need a break from everything. So if you look at right now, it's kind of like retracing over here. If you look on the 15 minute is also retracing. If someone was to take a buy here, we don't know how far it's going to retrace. We just don't know that. So I'd probably want to see a support formed if someone wants to take an entry to continue going up. So that's going to be a pretty good idea to wait for. Dear Raja, could you please tell me more about buy stop? I don't know where I should wait for support and go to position or use buy stop like this position. Dear Bob, once you see the price is ranging here, right? We had range here. When I came through the charts, I saw price was making a resistance. Price had a support formed. There was a bunch of candles printing side by side. So I decided that this is probably not going to be the best area to trade in for me. And then I said, okay, I'm going to look for buy above this area, sell above this area here. And once this resistance was being formed, once this candle started breaking up, I almost wanted to take a buy, but then I was like, no, I'm probably gonna wait a little bit because it hasn't really broken up higher. You know, wanted to break above like 136, 580, 590. So I waited. And then I'm like, okay, you know what? If the news comes here with Euro, it might affect GJ a little bit. So, you know, if GJ breaks above here, then it might end up coming up to this because this is an area I'd want to trade. So I placed a buy stop and got activated, and then it continued to go up. Yeah, I didn't want to say how much I made. US 30 is moving, mirroring GJ. Yeah, that's something I still haven't understood yet about US 30. You know, like why is US 30 moving with the euro or the pound? That's something I don't understand. Like I know
I've been trying to work on the S&P, and it moves so quick, but it's just like one or twice a week, you know.
How do you know if a wick will get filled or not? The best way to know if this wick is going to get filled or not, if you have a support formed, right? If you have a support formed here, if you have a support formed in this area, then there's going to be a very high chance that price will continue moving up to fill this wick. You know, at this point, I don't even care about US 30 because I mostly trade GJ. But I'm going to find out the detailed answer. Oh, maybe they move inversely to JPY, that's why. I got a doubt. When you entered this kind of moves, what are your thought process on where to put stop loss since the wick of the last candle was 20 pips? Yeah, I just had my stop. Once it got activated, I just eyeballed my stop at like 15 pips. I was like, I'm just going to put it at 15 pips. Because again, when you're using buy stops, you're expecting price to just continue through buy stops or continue through sell stops, right? You're not expecting price to come back in. You're expecting it to just continue moving. So that's the idea behind buy stops. So when I have buy stops, I'm either putting them below the breakout candle, the candle that is breaking up. So it should be around like 10, 12, 15 pips. But if let's say I entered here, my buy stop got activated like 590, 580. My stop loss, I placed my stop at like 15 pips, 15, 16 pips below the 15-minute candle that was breaking out. Because then once it got activated, I didn't want it to come all the way down because that defeats the purpose of a buy stop. Once it's activated, you want price to continue moving bullish. And someone can say, oh, why don't you look at this resistance on the 15-minute? Because it's a weak confirmation time frame, right? So I just looked at this candle, 30-minute breaking the highs of the previous two 30-minute bearish candles. Looks like it did a retracement here, GJ, on the 15-minute. And I think once it starts coming up, it should continue up to fill this wick. Let's see what happens. Oh, this is something great. This is something great. This comment here. All of these missed opportunities are learning experiences, and the more they happen, the likely I am to catch the future opportunities. That is 100% true. I used to miss these all the time, and then I would just learn from them. Like, okay, how could I have caught this move? This will happen over and over and over, man. Trust me. The moves that I'm catching now, I have missed them more than 10 times, more than 20 times. I have missed all these moves in the past. So in the start, I used to get very discouraged. I used to get discouraged in a way, man, shit, I've missed this move. Let me see how can I re-enter this move. I used to get discouraged. I used to get like demotivated. I used to say that, man, this is never going to happen again. But trust me, in my small 4 years of trading, I have seen that they will happen over and over and over and over again. Every time, like clockwork, they keep on happening. You just have to stay patient for tomorrow, patient for next month, patient for 2 months from now. but you will catch those moves. But if you get emotional about it, man, it's going to get really, really hard. So let's take a look here. There's going to be news conferences coming in as well for the euro. So monetary policy decisions, right? So they made some policy decisions. People asking why GJ moved with the euro news is because they made some policy decisions that may affect the pound as well. For net purchase under prep.
They're just going to be. I feel they're probably just going to be like, printing more money. There's not really much they can do.
Yeah, that's what they did. European Central Bank ramps up its pandemic bond buying to 1.35 trillion euros.
Sort of just kicking the can in the long grass. So they'll deal with the problem later on. That's all that's happening.
Oh wow! Look at this cowboy. This cowboy had buys on Euro USD from down over here, up over here, and boom. That's a pretty big spread for Euro USD if you look at this. Look at this spread. It's like a 0.3 pip spread. Oh, I missed the move yesterday, studied it, and caught it today. Very nice. It's a great feeling when you can just sit and watch and not take the trade. Yeah, Steve, that's how I felt yesterday. Yesterday I called a really, really good trade. A lot of people took that trade. A lot of people analyzed the same trade right over here. This was the trade which we took yesterday. I called it out and just sat out and watched it. Fell 44 pips.
Roger.
Hey.
Quick question. See on this, so we had that the goat shit range, right? And it's a sort of range within a range. And I think when I look at it, if it was just a range on its own, I think it'd be easier to trade. This I found a lot more difficult. Like I wouldn't have done it the way you did it, but thank you for giving us the move. I mean, I caught the move, but it was a range within a range. And does that make it more difficult? Do you see my question?
Yeah. So you're saying this is a range in the overall high time frame range?
Yes.
Yeah. So basically, I measured this range. So I was like, okay, this is a 30 pip range, and if I take a buy somewhere in this area, I can get 15 to 20 pips out of this 30 pip range.
Got it. Okay, so because there's enough space for you to actually catch part of that move, because that's where the next target is, right?
Yes.
Yeah, got it. Okay, cool.
Yeah, exactly. Does Magic Keys goes to Africa? We're trying to discontinue shipping to Africa because a lot of packages are getting stolen there. They say delivered, but they never reach them. Do you stick with the amount of dollar per pips, then slowly increase slowly? I live in San Francisco. Can you make double of what you wanted? Do you stick with the amount of dollar? Yeah, right now, these days, when I first started, I used to stick with percentage amounts. I used to stick with strict percentages, because I wanted to know. So like I had a really big downfall and I started to go back up. I stuck to percentages. I wanted to see if I can do consistent percentages for a set amount of time. Once I found out that, okay, for 3 months or 2 months, I've been doing consistent percentage gains, then I started to say that, okay, now maybe I want to increase my lot size and start risking dollar amounts. So when you get to a certain level, you start looking at it in terms of, okay, if I'm starting with, let's say, a $10,000 account, I might want to start risking $150 a day. Let's say if I took this trade, my risk here was around $1,000 to $1,200. Like if my trade went against me like $1,000, I'd say, okay, you know what? Now I might want to maybe just call it a day. So it all depends on how much you're trying to risk per day. Mr. AM Rod Macias, donated $5. Very nice. Yo, Raja, I have been getting magic. I have been getting magic keys. Magic keys. What are they and how are they used? Well, if you can't have something, you don't know how it works, right? That means you don't need it. Wow, look at that retracement, man. Wow, there was no confirmation for sells. There was no confirmation for buys. Just straight retracement. Crazy. US 30 also retraced. Wow, this is, man, this is some news. See, this is the point where you need to stay calm. You need to stay very, very calm when price is moving like this really, really quick. It's very important. I was hoping we're going to leave a 15-minute confirmation for sells. Yeah, it is what it is. Sometimes price does what it wants and you're just like, well, it is what it is. Couldn't have done anything to change it. There was someone who was holding GJ sells when it was going up. I think that guy is pretty happy right now. That's just the harsh way you are answering some of these questions. I know it's annoying getting the same questions over and over again, but at least be a little considerate. Deek, Africa, I think you forget how harsh the market is. The market will fuck you up. And if you think some of my answers are, I don't know if my answers are mean or not. I think they're pretty straightforward answers. My answers are really, really straightforward. So I don't know how else to answer questions. Bro, once it goes into consolidation area during the day, good idea to use the buy stop, sell stop. No, I think the best way to look at it right now is that this is the resistance it broke here, right? So this is the resistance it broke. This is the support it was at right over here. So if you can see price forming a support above, let's say 136, 580, 590, then you can say, okay, now price has a better chance to continue up towards, 136, 850, 136, 900. But if price comes back, let's say in this range over here, then there's no trade in this range, right? And then you say, oh, well, we're back in this range here. So now we might want to look for price to break below 136, 270 or 136, 300 for an opportunity to take a sell down over here. What's your opinion on spot rare C trader? No idea what that is. Do you see any more trades on GJ from now on? Yeah, I just discussed some possibilities. Was there any fundamental change there? Yeah, there was news, and if you look at the information on the news, you'll know what happened. I mean, it's very straightforward. You go to forexfactory.com. When something like this happens, you go to forexfactory.com and you go to news, and then you go for the red folder. You're like, oh, okay, maybe this moved prices. Now, someone might say, oh, so rude. How do you think with probabilities? How do you think with probabilities? If someone serves you food, and they say the food is spicy, what's the probability the food is going to be spicy? It's a very high probability. If you eat spicy food, you're going to be like, well, there's a high probability I'm going to find this food spicy. But if you eat spicy food, you'll be like, well, there's a low probability I'll find food spicy because I already eat spicy food. If you don't eat spicy food, then there's going to be very high probability it's going to be very spicy. Same thing with charts. If price is closing above support, there's a high probability price will go up. If price closes below support, then there's a high probability price will go down, right? Very simple. You see the stop hunt on GU right now? No, not right now. Can you guys hear anything, or is it just me? No, I went on mute. Yeah. Yeah, wow, man, look at this move down. Straight retracement. I don't think anything changed fundamentally, because if you look at the, I think what happened was that if we look at the rates here, they kept the rates the same, right? They kept the rates the same, which means it's good news for the economy, right? So whenever news like this happens, it's like, okay, they kept the rates the same. It means it's good news, so price moved up, right? Price moved up. So if the rates are the same, then there's nothing changed except the fact that they announced that they're doing some more stimulus or whatever. But the rates were same. There's nothing potentially changed fundamentally. I think that's why we're seeing this correction back down. I've been noticing this a lot. Whenever interest rates happen and the rates are kept the same, you see a initial spike up, and then later on you'll see a whole correction because the main thing was kept the same. What matters is what they say during the press conference. That's the most important thing. So I think they'll talk more about what they released here in the monetary policy decisions.
Hey, Roger.
Hey.
Yeah. So sometimes, when they when they give their press conferences, it kind of the people kind of read into what they're saying. So what can potentially now happen in the future? So if they're now going to do, sort of more, sort of printing more money and actually injecting more money into the economy, and then they kind of read into it. Okay, they're going to be doing this now for the next 6 months, and so the kind of traders read into what they're saying as well. So a lot of these guys are very careful what they say, but sometimes they just let something slip as well. And then what their sort of interest rate policies are potentially for the future as well. So they'll, when they say, "Oh, we're looking to keep things stable," and and whoever they have in charge is normally meant to be a stable hand as well.
Yeah, that's also like we had a guy with us, and he used to really read these press conferences. Like, he used to really listen to them every day, and he would come up with his own, his own ideas how he thinks price is going to happen, and for the most part he was pretty on point, but then he just disappeared somewhere. I went to 200 pounds to 50 pounds. I was too greedy. Well, that's what happens. Next time, let's not get too greedy. Yeah, I think you should always look to see how much percentage you're risking. At the same time, I think people trade with way too less money. I think if you're starting with, I think if you're a new trader and you're just starting out, I think a really, really good amount just to start out with a very new trader is like maybe like $200, $300, $100. And once you start to get consistent, or once you start to see some returns on that, then I think it's really, really good to start off with, let's say, $1,000, maybe like $500. I know my first account was $200, and I lost it obviously in 2 weeks. And then I signed up with Ted. Ted was doing a mentorship call, so I signed up with him in June. So from April I lost 200, and then I signed up with Ted after I took that webinar, and then I started my account with $1,000, because at that time I was like, okay, you know what? I have the knowledge. I have this guy with me who's going to answer my questions as well, and perfect. It's time to start with $1,000. And that actually I grew up to 500 in 2 weeks, and then lost it. So you lost 80,000 after signing with Ted. No, that was all over trading. It was all over trading, over risking. I mean, the worst thing you can do is blame someone else for your losses. That's the worst thing you can do. You can't blame someone because you're over trading. You can't blame someone if you're over risking. You know, it's just that blame game gets you nowhere. It's like saying, man, my life is shit because of these people. No, your life is shit because of you, because of your bad decisions. You know, when people say everything happens for a reason, it's not like that. Everything happens because you made bad choices. That's why those reasons are happening to you. On 27th May, the EU Commission said they will mobilize 750 billion for European recovery. Do you think it was executed today and priced in? No, I don't think. No idea. Absolutely no idea. I mean, it could have. These things though, these things about, like, you know, billions of dollars funding and expansion and mobilization, they happen based on the higher time frames, the 4-hour, the daily, and the weekly. You know, not on the smaller time frame. On the 15-minute, 1 hour, it doesn't really matter at all. I've never looked at that kind of information and executed my trades based on that. Do you have a hard time falling asleep after you lost so much money? Oh yeah, absolutely. But the only time I lost sleep over losing money was... Here's the thing, I never lost money before going to sleep. That's the thing. I've always lost money in the morning. I think this one time I couldn't sleep when I was in a AUD USD buy. I was in an AUD USD buy and in a sell, and price was moving up. I was in a 26,000 drawdown on a $40,000 account. So that's when I couldn't sleep at all. I kept checking my phone after every, 10 minutes. Go to bed, wake up. Oh, check the phone, still in a drawdown. You know, magically I used to think that if I would wake up, man, Mac is doing some absolutely disgusting things on his mic, on his video there. So gonna hide it.
So I'm not picking on my guy. You thought I was.
If a 15-minute candle closes like this, do you see is a good trade to take? Good trade to take for buys. I would say it's going to be a little risky. It's going to be a little risky to take the buy, yeah, on the 15. I mean, if this was a 30-minute, 100%. 100% I might take a buy if this was on a 30-minute. But if it's on a 15-minute, it'll be a little risky. But I could still see it coming up. Because if it broke above this area, oh, the 30-minute is also about to close. Then yeah, it makes sense. 30-minute is closing above this previous resistance here, so it may become support. So you just need to wait a minute and a half to see where it closes. Wow, your JPY is really coming down hard. What lot sizes were you taking with 1K account? I mean, when I first started, I was doing like 50-cent lots, 30-cent lots. The risk management was all over the place at that time. But I started with like 10-cent lots. You said your stop loss was 15 pips. Why so big? I talked about it in the stream earlier. Why my stop loss was at 15 pips. It was around this 15-minute candle here. When you start mentorship with Ted, was he scalping style too? Oh yeah, we've been doing the same thing ever since. When we started, we basically tried everything. Tried like MACD, stochastics, RSI, Bollinger Bands. We tried everything in the book, man. You name it, everything. And then a point came where like, yeah, I mean, if you don't understand price action, trading is going to get really difficult. So then just started to read candles and things just started to get better. I mean, that's why you have a team, right? We have a whole team. And that's why we've gained so much notoriety, because it's not just one person leading the charge or whatever. It's a group of people. You know, it's because we all work together, we share ideas, and you know, like there are different things at play. Talking about GJ over here, now this candle closed back below 136.500. Looking on the 15 minute closed bearish, so it gets very difficult to take buys, because if you look on the 30 minute, it also seems like it did a fake out. It did kind of like this is like a fake out, because this candle closed back below this area here. You know, so if this candle closed back below this area, and if this current candle, now here's the thing, if this candle closes back above this area, then there's a very high chance price will continue to go up. But if this candle closed back below this area, then this move up becomes a fake out, and you have an opportunity to maybe take sells below 136.270 to continue down to 136 even. Makes sense? So before we were waiting for this candle to close above 136.550, but it closed below, it closed back in the range. So this means if price couldn't sustain its move above the range, where else will it go? You know, then it's a higher chance for price to continue down to the support and then break below and continue down. So we're just watching what price is doing right now. You know, so if someone's still looking for trades, I mean, you're still waiting here. There's a lot of waiting involved in this area here. If 15-minute candle breaks the half that previous 15-minute candle, then there's a higher chance for price to continue moving bullish. If not, we just sit and wait. Someone's saying you are right, soon there will be a big sell. Yeah, I think if that sell happens, that's just going to be a correction of this move up, a start of a correction, maybe to make a lower support to continue going up based on the daily time frame. So that's correct. Boom, 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 boom. Hey man, took a trade in the London session today. Very nice. And tomorrow's NFP as well. Let's see what gold did here. Let's look at gold. Ooh, 1709. Gold made a support to continue going up to retest this high. That's what gold did. Pattern trading is a trap. Zones is how you make money. That's correct. Raja, why are you giving so many things for free? As you mentioned, it took a lot to get to this level. I also asked this from Ted. I think because, oh nice, he is coming down here. Because when I first started, there was nothing like this. And I would always be, so when I would like, you know, ask a question to somebody, let's say guys like AstroFX or guys like Brandon Carter or guys like Q Banks or people like those, like I would message them and I would either not get a reply or I would get a link to sign up for their course. And I was like, why? You know, why has it to be like this? Why is it like that? You know, and then I decided, okay, you know what? If I get good, I'm going to give so much information that people will start hating me for that information, you know? And, you know, that's what I did. Like, I wanted to do something good because there has to be someone like me in my position who's looking for information, and now they can come on these streams and get that exact information. So that was my whole motivation, that I'm not going to be like those guys who say, hey, to learn more, go sign up for my course, or hey, I'm not going to read your, or I'm not going to answer your DMs, something like that. Like, I answer people's DMs just by liking their comments. When I like your comment on Instagram, that means I've read it and I've acknowledged it. You know, I can't really type everything back. So yeah, that's the reason I do this. And it looks like this was a fake out here and price is now starting to come down. So sell stop? No, I'm not using any sell stops. I already took my trade, but I think it's going to break down below. So this could be one of those impulsive trades that sometimes people take with a stop loss. Is just like eyeballing the stop loss. Like let's say you're like, all right, I'm going to risk like a 20 pip stop loss, maybe lowering down my risk. And if it continues below, let's say 136, what's this? 270, 136, 270, then there's a higher chance for price to continue going bearish down to 136 or even 136 even. Oh, someone's got their hand raised. Oh, wrong chart.
What's up, brother?
Hey.
Was that chart for me that was wrong?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. I was just showing you that I took sells on that as price broke the low of the 15 at 8.15.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Did it look like a fake out?
Yeah. It is a fake out.
See it coming through that support.
Yeah, just coming down.
Why was that chart wrong?
You seem more calm and relaxed. Can you explain why? I don't know. It's just mainly because I've exceeded my goal 2 times by Tuesday, so I'm just very, very relaxed. Someone asked a question. Can you explain this? You don't use sell stop because stop is too far. No, I don't want to use a sell stop because I already took my trade. I already took 1 trade, so I'm not taking a second trade. You don't have to take a second trade if you already took 1 trade. See, now we broke below 136, 270, and it should continue down to 136. If someone is wondering where you're going to put your stop, I mean, this is just going to be this is not written in stone. I hate when people take things written in stone, but I would say a stop at I'd say 136, 450 would be okay, because if price is going to continue down, I don't think it should come back 50% into this range, because if price comes back 50% into this range, then I think the sell idea is invalid. Have you closed your GJ positions? You mean the buys? Man, of course. I closed them, what, 45 minutes ago. Man. Oh, the sells. Oh, I think the question was Stefanos. Yeah, I think Stefanos. I don't know. Hey, Stefanos, you closed your positions or what? Oh. Alright, there we go.
So, man, so I closed half as price hit my 12 pip mark around 136, 353, and I moved stops, below break even. So I'm in profit just a little bit, and I got price breaking through the support because there's 70-80% chance that price is going to break through after the fake out.
Fake out.
So,
yeah.
And then on the higher time frames, I see price coming down anyway in 4 hour.
Yeah, I think so too. Like, this was a deep liquidity grab with this move up on the 4 hour.
Yeah, okay. I think that was caused by the news.
Yeah. Also, this 1 hour also,
Exactly.
So it should
see what happens.
Yo, Stefanos, you got an awesome Insta, bro.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Who was that?
Yes, sir.
Oh.
Yes, sir.
Man. Yes, sir.
Wow, US 30. Man, this thing moves a lot. Look at that 100-point move, no problem. I said it's an overreaction and that bearish, but Raja was roasting people who said short. No, I wasn't roasting people who said short. I was just explaining why I'm in buys because price was moving up. You have to understand, like if you win, I mean, it just depends. If you are consistently withdrawing profits and paying bills, then that makes sense. But there was no confirmation for sells. I'm just trying to help you guys out. I mean, if you don't want the help, you can just leave the stream and fuck off. But I'm just trying to help you. There was no confirmation for sells. You know, like if price reaches a very strong zone, and if you take a sell, look to see how many times are you going to win that trade, and how many times have you lost that trade. You have to look at those things. You know, some people, when you take trades, you just don't look at the trades why you won the trade. You just take the trade, you win the trade, you're like, perfect, I won the trade. I mean, I can guarantee 70% people here, they don't even look why they won the trade. You don't even look why you lost the trade. There's no, I mean, you guys come here every day. You know, every day you see me take a trade, not take a trade, and then I post a trade on Instagram, and then I talk about that trade, and then I post the highlights of the trade. That's me looking to see how I won that trade and how I can take that same trade again. Or if I lose a trade, that's me looking to see how could I have done things better. Most people don't do that. You know, it's just like, oh, price is moving up, let's take a sell. Why take a sell? Well, because the high time frame is this and that, this and that. No, you can't even break down technical analysis. You need to break them down and then come to a substantiated decision that, okay, this is why price is a sell. You know, just like when price came down here, closed below, this meant that there's a very high chance price will continue down. So if someone looking in, would you be more comfortable taking sells when price is moving up, or would you be more comfortable taking sells when price is down here and you can clearly break it down that price is going to go down? This is really important for your psychology too. This is really important. When you take trades with 100% confidence, it's going to play out in the next trades you're going to take. You know, but when you take trades half confident, it's not going to work at all. You know, because you're going to be scared. Now, see this sells below this area? Perfect. You know, stress-free trading. That's what you have to strive for. Yeah, so sometimes I summon my inner Ted.
It's playing out nice.
Yeah, man. It's beautiful. Fake out and just straight move down.
Yeah. Yeah, it did not give me an entry, so.
It did if he dropped to like the 5 minutes.
I see what you're saying, Karan.
But like Roger always say, those are like the weaker confirmation. But since price is momentum, you could just drop to the 5 minutes. Even the top level that he had up there, you could have got sales off the 5 minutes.
See, if you look at now, this fake out, it worked perfect. It was awesome. You know, you had sales at 260, price came down 20 pips. Stop was right over here, middle of this range, and it was another pretty good move here.
My God.
We got 2 highlights for today, buys and sells. You know, so if you guys on YouTube, you guys didn't get the buys, but you got the sells, just give a like on the stream, man. It helps a lot more people. Because, you know, I will never tell you guys that once the move is done, I'll never say, okay, this is how you could have taken the sale. I will never do that. I will always tell you straight up, this is what's going to happen. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't happen, then we all can learn from it. Wow, your JPY also corrected the entire move. So I think this is another learning thing here that, you know, like moved up and then came back down because there was no change done. I think the monetary policy, I don't know what they said in the press conference, but technically
But it's
this... Yeah.
But it's like what you're always saying, like when there's a news and it's always going to correct itself because the overall momentum is starting to shift bearish. So that news kind of like a liquidity grab, and then overall continuation.
Yeah, exactly. Overall, just continuation, and gold also went up to retest the high here. See, now when we first came to the stream, it was just so hard to trade. You know, price was ranging, didn't know what the fuck was going on. And then, man, GJ is just dying over here. Stefanos was right. 70% chance it will break down. That broke down.
Pretty hard too.
Yeah.
I'm done with GJ.
I'm done also. I got the buys and the sell.
Yeah. So if you see now, this is what we were talking about earlier on in the stream for people who are coming in late. This was the range. This was the non-trading range, which we marked out earlier. And this was the trading range here. And then this was the other trading range here. See how clean moves happen in both ranges. See this clean candle here to the left? You have clean move coming down here. I'm gonna remove this live stream from YouTube because there was a lot of knowledge shared here. What's this? Oh, nice, Jose Pinho. Very nice. We got the buys and the sells.
I'm up since 2 a.m. waiting for this 25 pips.
Wow.
Ah, damn it, but finally got it. I can tell you. I was waiting.
You need some discipline, man.
No, man, I mean, I was up for Monty streaming.
Yeah.
But man, this GG started in this range. I think Yvonne also was watching the streaming. I didn't like the sells in middle of the range, so I was waiting for a break below 136, 250. Finally got it.
Oh, I got a question here. So, have you closed your sells now? Oh man. Oh, someone made $45 today. Perfect. Perfect, man. You made $45 in 3 hours. That's, I think, powerful. So you have to now look at your time, right? Let's take a look at this. Bring my calculator here. So if you made $45 divided by 3, you essentially made $15 an hour. You know, if someone made $100 divided by 3, you made $33 an hour for the time you worked. You know, someone out there probably made $500 in maybe 10 minutes. Divide by 10. So you made $50 per minute. That's your pay rate right there. If someone made $10, then that's good. You printed 10. I think the idea is, oh no, I'm not going to remove the video from YouTube. I was joking. I was joking. I think the idea is to really understand that when you're trading and profiting, you are printing money from the markets. You are making money out of thin air. Basically, that's all what it is. It's from thin air. You're printing money, and that's powerful. I don't think many people really understand how powerful that is. If you go out there and you tell somebody that, hey, bro, listen, I printed $50 this morning from the markets, and now I can withdraw it. Without even getting up from my chair, I did that. That is powerful, you know. And the only thing that can destroy that power is if you want to make more, if you want to overtrade, if you want to over risk. That's going to completely destroy your ability to continuously printing money from the markets, you know. And let's say if you took a loss, let's say if you took one loss or, you know, 2 losses, then you have to maybe step back and say that, okay, how could I have taken the winning trade? And the reason now I'm seeing a lot of people get really, really good in my groups and, in like the YouTube community here too. And the reason why is because you all are looking at your losses and you're figuring out how could you have taken the winning trade. And when you start to do that, you start to learn something new. Like I didn't wake up one morning and say, oh yeah, now I had a dream about fake outs. I know how to trade fake outs, or I know how to use buy stops, or I know how to use wick fills. It doesn't happen overnight. I kept on looking at my losses. Over the weekends, I'd look at my trades. I would see how could I make these trades better. And then I figured out new information. And then I started testing it, started seeing it over and over again. And then I started writing a PDF on it or make a webinar on it. And that's how you progress in life. Like if you fail at something, you try to see how could you've done things better.
If I could add something to that, as hard as it is to look at a loss or a missed trade as a blessing, it 1000% is, because the number one currency in this game is experience. And if you just lost and you learned something from that, you just gained experience, more experience than somebody who would be looking at that loss as a loss.
100%. I agree.
Man, when people ask me how to journal trades, I give them your Instagram. Like, look at this Instagram. This is how you should be journaling your trades.
Thanks, man.
79 pip gain. Damn.
That's my first swing.
Yeah, but man, look, most are wins. You had 3 losses in a row, and then you had 6 wins in a row.
Because you learn from it.
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty inspiring.
Appreciate it.
Someone asked, what's his IG? Oh my God, man. How can you not know what the IG
Watch
was
the replay.
when it was just right here, man? It was right here. Holy shit. Oh my God.
The gulag is cranking today.
The gulag. And then people say, you guys are so mean to people on YouTube. Oh, must be Bernie Sanders supporters or something.
Come
I'll
on.
give him the benefit of the doubt.
Jesus
That question was posted in advance, way in advance.
Yeah.
Wow.
That question was
That was
mean.
Joe Biden asking that question because he forgot you just put the
Yeah, Joe Biden.
Sheesh.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, keep up the good work. That's a really good content there, actually. I always go through it. That's really good.
Thanks, my man.
All right, everybody. I'm gonna head off over here. I've had enough for today.
Yeah, man. Me too.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Roger.
See you.
All
See you
right.
around.
Take care, everybody.
Have a good one.
Take
Take
care.
care.
Take care.